from the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, Outdoor Oklahoma.
Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead, and today I'm joined by J.D. Ridge, our biologist here at the Eufaula WMA. And J.D., we're kind of at a special place here. Tell us where we are.
You bet, Todd. We're at the Deep Fork Wetland Development Unit, and that's on Eufaula WMA, as you mentioned. It's a kind of a special unit. It's flooded timber. It's a green tree reservoir.
And now, management for this type of reservoir, or WDU, is quite different than most other places around the state. Tell us how this differs.
Right. The majority of our wetland developments across the state are managed for moist soil type vegetation. That's a completely different habitat. What we're working with here is bottomland hardwoods.
Okay. So today's kind of a special day in your management scheme throughout the year because this is the day you're starting to flood.
That's right.
Tell us about how that kind of happens.
Being that it's a green timber system, we have to delay our flooding as long as we can. And so we're here late October and we're just now getting the pump running, but it's a good day.
That's great. And the reason for that is so that these trees don't stand in water too long during their growing season.
During the growing season, that's the biggest point.
Well, that's good. You know, right here on this dike here, very soon, this will look totally different, have water all behind us.
There'll be in this unit here roughly 300 acres of flooded timber.
That's great. Well, you know, we're going to be talking more about the process of flooding this area. But first, JD, have you ever been trout fishing at the Lower Mountain Fork River?
I have, Todd, a couple of times. Great fishing, beautiful area.
You bet. Well, we're going to be going down there with our own Rachel Bradley, who's going to try fly fishing for the first time with our good friend Clyde Ross.
Thanks for joining me today at the Lower Mountain Fork River on my first fly fishing trip.
Well, I appreciate it, Rachel. I'm glad to be the one to show you the way, and we're going to learn a few basics today and hopefully catch a fish.
Awesome.
One of the most beautiful places, if not the most beautiful place in Oklahoma, Lower Mountain Fork River.
So today we went fly fishing and it was my first time. It does take some practice with sometimes a little impatience occurring. But it's really fun, and if you get someone that knows how to do it with you and learn the basics, it's really easy.
Well, the first thing I hope she takes away is, I can do this. The second thing of it is, I want her to realize that the beauty of the streams is as important as the fishing. And a lot of times, people fall in love with the streams so much that a special part of the day isn't even when she has a rod in her hands. It's when she's sitting on a log or sitting on a rock and she's just watching the beauty of a river as it passes by. Okay, the thing to remember about fly fishing, most people think it's very hard. There's a lot of technique and a lot of expertise that's gained only with time, which we don't worry about today. This is day one. But I do want you to know there's a very basic understanding of what needs to be functional, and you can catch a fish today.
We better.
All right, a fly rod.
Okay.
You'll notice that basically the first thing you have to do is know how to grip the rod.
Okay.
Just remember, you're going to wrap the handle just like that. The thumb goes on top, and the index finger, it becomes important.
Okay.
Because the index finger is how you bring in the line once it's in the water. When you're a new angler, you're out there on the first day, there's a few basic things that you need to know. How you hold the rod, the thumb on top of the handle is important. It gives you some control. The index finger is how you bring line in and how you control the line to bring a fish in. You do very little with the reel. It's really just a storage function. But you pull the line in through that index finger and that's how you bring the fish in. That's a good way to begin.
Alrighty, sounds
okay.
good. So let me
I
practice
want you to grip and put the thumb right there.
Okay.
Just hold it like that. Thumb goes on top.
Okay.
Your index finger holds the line. And basically, when you want to retrieve it, all you do is you're pulling here with your left hand. Just go ahead and pull it some. And that brings the line in. That's how you retrieve a fish.
Okay.
Okay? So it's a very simple technique. It's just that you get excited and then you forget it.
But
that comes with practice. Okay? Okay, now Rachel, what we're going to do is very simple. Okay. I'm going to demonstrate a technique. and then I'll hand you the rod and I'll work with you in doing that technique as we fish the hole, okay? Now what we're doing is reading the stream here. We have a good current.
Okay.
We're going to be casting into the current and let the strike indicator work its way down. We have 2 flies on. We have a little strike indicator that is the indicator of when a fish has taken it, okay? But what we do is simply this. Just like that is how we make a cast. And then I'm going to high stick.
Okay.
I do not want a lot of the line in the water. That tends to spook a fish. Not having a whippy wrist is an important part of casting. Keep your wrist stiff, and your line position is usually, as your rod tip is above, it's at the 10 o'clock position and the 2 o'clock position as you move the line back and forth. So we only have the leader. I'm taking the slack out, and you will need to do the same, and I'll coach you along the way. So I'm going to flip it upstream, just like that. A lot of people make a mistake of having a whippy wrist or dropping the rod tip way down instead of keeping it up here as they are casting. And that's part of it that makes it a very easy process with the passing of time. You just learn a little bit more every trip. It's like any kind of endeavor. Using that technique I talked to you about, index finger, and we got a fish on.
Oh! Yay!
And that is how we do it, okay?
Okay, so now I gotta get one that quickly.
That's right. Now, did you see how that strike indicator went down?
Yes,
it just you know,
like a
it's just a
bobber.
twitch and you don't have much time, okay?
Okay,
All right,
let's see what we got.
let's see. We want him to get a little tired. That's part of the play in him.
Pretty cool.
Okay, beautiful, isn't he?
It is.
That's a rainbow.
It is.
He took the fly jig, which is one of my favorite patterns. Okay,
Oh.
we're gonna put him right here and let him
off
back
he
in.
goes.
Okay.
All right.
And that's how you catch fish in the Mountain Fork River. I love to take new guys out to fly fish. The reason why is because I know the peace and serenity that's involved in fly fishing. My very best friends in the world are guys who stand in the river with me. About 5 years ago, we began a group called Christian Anglers Fellowship, and those guys have become my closest friends. They love being in the river together, and we share special times. What you learn is a little bit more every day, and with the passing of time, you learn the subtleties and the new lessons that are involved in being successful as a fly fisherman. But don't let the passing of time or the intimidation factor keep you from trying, because everything starts with a new move, a new trip, trying something new, and you don't have to know everything in order to catch fish. You can do it on day one. And there's no better place to do it than the lower Mountain Fork River in Oklahoma, the most beautiful part of our state.
Oh.
Nope, got him.
Got it!
Oh, he got a loose. You had him. And remember I told you he would take it on the J?
Yes, and he
That's
did.
That's exactly when he took it.
And I mean, just again, patience is the most important thing, which I learned I need to work on today.
Okay, that's a really nice drift, so be ready.
All right.
Lip, whoop, whoop. You got him.
I did.
Rod in the air.
It's
Rod
in
tip
here.
up.
What do I do? Just pull?
Rod tip up. You got him. Keep your rod tip up. Keep your line tight. You're
He's a
doing
little
good.
bitty.
That's it. Keep it up.
Let him get tired.
Here. No, we're okay.
Get him, Mr. C! Got him? Yay!
There's your first trout, girl.
First trout, little rainbow.
All right. Let's see what we got. Okay, he took the
Bigger one,
he took the fly jig.
Well, I have always always wanted to go trout fishing, and I finally have got to with Mr. C here. And as much as I would love to catch a brown trout, I caught a rainbow trout. Uh-oh.
Which is fine.
Yep.
They're all good.
A trout is a trout.
Yep. And he is slippery.
He is slippery. I got a good grip. I'm not scared of a
Okay,
little
you got
fish.
him?
He is slippery. I'm going to hit you in
He's
the head.
very slippery.
Are they stuck?
But the taste of success.
It is. We're not stopping yet.
And ease him back into the water. There are certain rivers that I would take a new person that's just getting started. The lower Illinois at Gore, Oklahoma is a great place for new people because it's an easy environment to fish in. But this is my favorite Oklahoma place.
I've been pond fishing before, paddle fishing, and fly fishing. There is a little bit different technique, so you do have to practice, and it really does help to have that person that's knowledgeable, and in my case had 20 years on me, and I'm only 24, so he's been at it a while and can really tell me the little things to look at.
There he is. You got him.
Got him.
You got him.
Woohoo! Number 2. He's, oh, I thought
Keep
he
it
was
tight.
gone.
Keep it tight. Okay, okay, you're there. You're there. There you're there. Just right over this direction. Whoa, easy. We got him.
him. Number 2. You weren't even.
Whoa!
I caught 2 on the first day, and it's been 2 weeks since it's been stocked. So next time I come back, I'll come the day after the river's been stocked. This is a rainbow trout. They're really slimy, as you can imagine. I mean, it's a fish. And we're at the Lower Mountain Fork River. Great little hole for trout fishing, and we're using a fly rod today with Mr. Clyde Ross. Oops.
And there
Way
you
to
go.
let him down easy, right? I really do genuinely want to thank Mr. Clyde Ross for coming out with us today and supplying some equipment, his own handmade flies that are beautiful, and helping us catch some fish and teaching me the basics of fly fishing in the dead of winter. So thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. I enjoyed doing this.
Can I let him go? I mean, how many fish can I make supper in one day?
There he goes.
If you're wanting to come down here to the Lower Mountain Fork and fish and kind of curious of what you need and what you need to do, you can visit our website, wildlifedepartment.com, get all the information about that you need, or consult our fishing guide. And if you're already here, hit up the local fly shops and they'll be more than happy to give you the information you need.
Well, we're back now at Eufaula with JD, and you've got some water running, so that's a good sign.
That's right. That's hopefully, barring some catastrophe or equipment failures or Mother Nature, we'll be in good shape.
Now, from what I understand, this whole process, the way you do things now, is dramatically different than it was just a few years ago. Tell me about what happened here.
You bet, Todd. Back in the day, just getting water to these units was a logistic, manpower, time nightmare. Honestly, you dealt with changing river levels. You dealt with equipment that was kind of hard to get set. It was hard to get back out of the river. On and on and on. A few years ago, we were able to pool, with the help of some partnerships, get a big renovation together, which allowed us to completely change our water delivery system. Now we can deliver, one person can come down here, turn a pump on, and deliver water individually to any of the 4 units. We're standing right on a pipe that is in the dike that, like I said, it allows us to deliver water individually when we want and with ease. And so it's really increased our efficiency and made life easier for all of us here on the area.
Including the duck hunters too,
That's
right?
right, that's right. They love it too.
You know, and I promised you a duck hunt, so why don't we go ahead and do that and go duck hunting down on Lake Eufaula. Here you in.
All right.
Oklahoma is actually sort of a best kept secret of duck hunting in a lot of cases. There's about 14,000 people that duck hunt in Oklahoma in a given year, and most of them don't want us to talk about what the good duck hunting is in Oklahoma. There's a lot of opportunity here for sportsmen, both on public lands and private lands, and it's pretty good hunting most of the time. There you go.
To me, I think the biggest thrill I get out of duck hunting is just knowing that we are here in Oklahoma particularly providing that needed habitat for that migration as they move north and south during migration periods. I just like being out. I don't have to shoot a duck to have a good duck hunt. Seeing all the wildlife out there early in the morning in the shallow water habitat, which is much more diverse than open water. And that's, to me, the biggest thrill of the duck hunt.
Our goal is to put habitat on the ground for waterfowl. And so what we do is we'll take a philanthropic dollar, a gift from a supporter of DU, and we'll leverage it with partners like the ODWC and the NRCS and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and various other foundations and agencies, so that $1 becomes matched 4 or 5 times through partnership efforts. And that way, things that ODWC can't afford to get done or NRCS doesn't have the manpower expertise to get done, we can all work together to accomplish for the resource what we need to get done to ensure that the wetlands are here and they're healthy and they're offering what the waterfowl need when they come through.
The purpose of the Wetland Reserve Program in Oklahoma began in 1996, and it was to restore the functions and values of former wetlands that have been degraded, restore that hydrology to provide that wetland habitat again, and to provide habitat for migratory species and locally dependent species.
Good shot.
Hunting with ODWC and NRCS staff this morning was awesome. It's a very fitting sort of representation of the partnership that we've had for a lot of years in accomplishing good things for the resource. And it was really nice to be able to reap the benefits of some of those accomplishments this morning. Pretty good morning, huh, guys?
Excellent.
It was. So what did you think of your first duck hunt here in Oklahoma?
I thought it was pretty good. It's a beautiful sunrise and decent duck action. And
We saw some ducks. We didn't actually shoot all of them that we could have, but you know, that's
right.
good enough too. But you know, we definitely appreciate you coming in, and boy, we hope that we see you again here.
Oh, definitely. Anytime you invite me back.
And guys, we really appreciate the partnership that we have with both organizations.
Absolutely.
It helps us to do what we can for the sportsmen, and it's just important what we can do for the ducks.
That's it. That's it.
What do you say we go have some lunch?
You bet.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for joining us today. I hope that maybe we've inspired you to give fly fishing a try. If it looks a little intimidating, do like Rachel did and find a person to show you the ropes. Also, when it comes to managing for waterfowl in Oklahoma, I hope that we've given you a glimpse that there's more going on under the surface than what meets the eye to make waterfowling as great as it is here in our state. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you right here next time on Outdoor Oklahoma.